Are you obsessed with audiobooks or you're just curious about diving in? This video is your one-stop guide to everything you need to know about audiobooks. How to find the best apps, score amazing deals, because you know I love money saving, and discover narrators who will blow your mind. Let's start with my favorite apps, and we're going to start with the free ones. But even before we dive into the free ones, let me talk about how you can make any book an audiobook, even though it will be kind of robotic sounding. But if you have an Apple product, an iPad, or an iPhone, you can just go to Settings and then Accessibility, and then hit the spoken content spot and add in Speak Screen. So once you add Speak Screen, you will get this little thing right here. I have it over here. And if you touch that, you can basically make anything speak out loud to you.
Speak selection off. A speak button will appear when you select text. Speak screen on. Swipe down with two fingers from the top of the screen to hear the content of the screen. Speech controller.
Okay, I have it on 2x because I listen to everything on 2x. If you are a 2xer, let me know in the comments or what speed you listen to. But I like to listen to it at 2x. Some of them do get a little bit slower because the narrators speak at different speeds, right? So I like to listen to it faster, but I might need to slow it down sometimes if I miss something. Or if it's like a fantasy novel and you need to really pay attention, especially at the beginning, right? So I do adjust, but on the most part, I do listen to 2x. So that might have sounded really, really fast to you. And that is kind of the voice, but you can change the voice if you want to. But that is all up to you. So that is the first tip I'm going to give you is you can make anything ebook related an audiobook. Now let's go to actual apps. There are so many books that you can get from the library for free. The only thing is you may have to wait. There are things that are going to be immediate. There are things that are going to be immediately available, but a lot of them, especially the popular ones, you are going to have to put holds on, and so they'll just let you know when you're available. My favorite is Libby. So again, depending on what library system you are part of, the offerings are going to be different and the apps that they go through might be different. So these are my favorite items. And I think Libby is actually available at a lot of different places. So here is what my Libby looks like. Right now, I have some Abby Jimenez books. I'm doing a reread of Fourth Wing. I have Fear the Flames, which is one that I really want to read. Love of My Afterlife was one that was rated really well on Goodreads. So I'm taking a look at that. There's some other ones in here. Also my husband, because we have similar or the same account, there are different ones in here. So you can tell which ones are his and which ones are mine. Sometimes they overlap, but anyway, Libby has so many fantastic audiobooks. You can also get ebooks. So a great way, my kids use this as well. So we get all sorts of Diary of a Wimpy Kid or, Ben Yokoyama or whatever it might be. Um, all kinds of books are in here. I think magazines also. So that is Libby, and you put in your library card. So I have my library card over here. I have multiple library cards across California, and in different states even as well. So if you have a library card from anywhere, you can add it into Libby and you will get different selections, different hold times, all of that. Add it all in. Then you have Hoopla, which is also through the library system, and this is Hoopla. And you can only get a certain number a month. So be aware of that. But I got Lights Out. That's where I listened to Lights Out, which I'm going to talk about that later in some of my favorite audio narration and narrators. But there are so many different ones available. And once you start listening, they recommend things to you just like any other app. But they have so much selection. They even have ebooks, they have comics, they have movies, they have television. There's all kinds of stuff in Hoopla. It is, you just borrow it for a certain period of time. Music, they also have music. So if you want to borrow, CDs, etc. It's not CDs, but I just dated myself. But if you want to borrow music for a short period of time, you can do that as well. So here's kind of my history right here. all kinds of stuff is available. Another one of my favorite apps is Everend. I have talked about Everend, and if you are looking for a great subscription-based audio or just really any book, magazine, anything, Everend is fantastic. Their selection is fantastic for a great price. It's like $12 or $17 a month is what their new tiers are. Before it was a flat fee, you got everything. Now they are moving a little towards what I feel like is an Audible kind of subscription where you get 1 or 3 premium titles each month. But everything else is free. You can indulge in all kinds of other things, and their selection is great. Some of the ones on Audible that are paid or worth credits, they're on here. And so for the amount that you would pay for an Audible subscription, you can get all kinds of things. Um, I love it. And we do the annual subscription so that it's cheaper. You're saving money in that sense. If you want a discount on this, or at least just try it for free and see if it's for you, I have a link so that you can get that 30 days free. So go grab it in the description. I have it linked. It's a fantastic service. And if you don't like it, it was a free 30-day trial, right? And then you can decide that it's not for you. Audible is the Amazon audiobook service, obviously, and there are a lot of different ones that are Audible exclusive audiobooks. And I did the Prime deal where it was 3 months of Audible for 99 cents, which means you get 1 credit each month, which means you can buy any book that is requiring a credit. And you get Audible Plus catalog listening as much as you want. So it's very similar to Everend in that sense, where if it's in the Plus catalog, you can read whatever you want. And then for the premium ones, you have to use a credit. I definitely capitalize on that credit with things that are longer, things that are pricier, and things that are Audible exclusive, because in a lot of cases, I can get these audiobooks on Libby, on Hoopla, on Everend. And so if I can get it over there, I will not use my credit. If you want suggestions on some that I think are worth that Audible credit, I will be mentioning some of those in a little bit, but I have a lot more comments. And if you have ones that you were like, this was the best Audible purchase I made and it fits those criteria, I want to know in the comments. So drop it for me. I want to hear your thoughts. And if you heard the news, if you have Amazon Music Unlimited, it now includes 1 audiobook a month. Now, you don't get to keep it, but you get to listen to 1 free one outside of your Audible credits, so you can use it for a premium one that you would have used a credit for, and you get to listen to it that month. Now, they do go away if you stop subscribing or at the end of the month. So just make sure you read the details so you know that you don't get to keep it. It's like a library. You just get 1 premium one a month. If you have Kindle Unlimited, there is an option. So this is my Kindle Unlimited, and there are some that have audio included. So if it has the headphone right here, can you see the headphone next to where it says Kindle Unlimited? So for example, let's go to Megan Quinn, because I love Megan Quinn and I have not read these, but let's go to Vacation Wars. And it says read and listen for free. And so you can get both the Kindle Unlimited and audiobook for free. And I'm actually also doing the Kindle Unlimited trial for free as well, because that was a Prime deal that was there. And so I'm getting 3 months of trialing this for free, and I'm actually really, really enjoying it. So if you want the link to that, all the links are in the comments so that you can trial as well for Kindle Unlimited, Audible, all Everend, all of that. But this lets you listen and read along for free. So if you want to do both, I actually have come to really enjoy doing both at the same time, where it is in my ear and I'm reading along, because there's something different about reading it. Sometimes it doesn't pop through in the audiobook itself. There are things that are italicized, emphasized, things that are just different when you read it versus you hear it. So if you want to do that, that option is there. So now here is a trick for people that have Kindle Unlimited or you buy Kindle books. You can get the audiobook for a lot cheaper than getting it on Audible directly. So let me show you this. For example, The Ravenhood series, I'm going to talk about this in a sec, but this audiobook narration was fantastic, the whole trilogy. But if you go to, say, the finish line and go to it in a browser, you cannot go to it on the Amazon app or the um, Audible app. You have to go in a browser, either on your computer or on your devices, but use the browser. And then you go to Kindle Unlimited, right? Instead of saying audiobook, and it says $3. If you go to Audible and look up The Finish Line by Kate Stewart, it is like 20 something dollars. So you are saving so much money. And because you have Kindle Unlimited, it's already in my library. So then you just hit audiobook, $3. That is a steal. And if you look at any other ones, you will see that it is significantly cheaper when you either buy the Kindle copy plus the audiobook, or if you have Kindle Unlimited and you get the audiobook addition onto it. And so, friends, that is amazing. So always, always, always see if it is worth using a credit or if you want to just pay a few dollars. Because I've seen $3, $7, $8, but it's usually under $10 from what I have seen. Even if you have to buy the Kindle version of that book, which a lot of cases for Kindle Unlimited, you do not have to. And there are a lot of great books on Kindle Unlimited. So I have become a fan of KU. I'm going to have to look into what I want to subscribe to after the free trials. If you love KU and have used it for a long time, or Audible for that matter, I want to hear your experience, why it makes it worth it for you, and if you use any other apps outside of that. Let's dive into my favorite narrators and favorite audiobooks because these are ones you cannot miss if you have not read them. For some reason, myself, as well as a lot of other audiobook friends, are a lot pickier with male narrators. So I want to know what your thoughts are on that. Maybe that's more with the females that listen, especially reading romance books, that the pickiness comes out. I am not sure. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on whether you are pickier with male narrators as well. With that said, a lot of the people I'm going to talk about is going to center around the male narrators that really make the book for me and for a lot of my other narrator fan friends. I also have to say, this might sound weird, but I have actually been very surprised by some of the appearances of the male narrators when I looked them up in real life because they did not look like what I expected from their voices. And I mean, I'm sure many people say, "Oh, you weren't expect what I expected, like me," but whatever. I'm also not a famous audiobook narrator and my name. But I also feel like a lot of the female narrators are really attractive. At least the ones that are popular and that I have followed are really attractive. And I don't know if that is mostly because they have dabbled in acting or are actors also, or maybe they started as actors. Um, I don't know if that is the case, but you would think that is the same thing with the male narrators as well. But I have found the female narrators to be a lot more attractive in general. So I don't know if that is your observation as well. I would love to hear this conversation blow up, and I want to know. That was just my observation. And I was surprised by a lot of the narrators actually. They just didn't fit what I had imagined in my head, whereas a lot of the women did. Um, anyway, let's dive into the favorite narrators and favorite books. So the Ravenhood series is my favorite. It is by Kate Stewart. There's 3 books. Yes, it gets spicy, but the story is good all on its own. But the dual POV, the point of view with Joe Arden and Maxine Mitchell, narrating it, golden, beautiful, chef's kiss, love it.
You might be trouble, but you're still more. A lot more. I still think about you, Cecilia. It's impossible not to.
Me too. Are you happy?
So fucking happy, pup. I am.
I never got to say goodbye, and you were my best friend. More than that. So much more. Everything got so fucked up, and God, I missed you for so long. You were my first love, and I loved you, Sean. I really loved you. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Fuck that. I'm sorry. And he loved you. I regret a lot of shit from back then. A lot. But I don't regret you. I loved you then and now, and I always will. Deep down, even though I have everything I'll ever want. More than I could have ever expected for myself. Some part will always wish it was me.
I'm sorry. I sometimes wish I would never have met him. Never laid eyes on him.
Don't be.
They do narrate a lot of Kate Stewart books, and every single one I've read of hers are fantastic. Both, again, reading it, but then the narration just brings it to life, and I could just keep listening to it. It just, whoo. Sadly, Joe Arden has been in some controversy with how he has treated people, especially women. And so I have a hard time justifying and supporting his works, but I still want to support the author because Kate Stewart is amazing. And I'm just more of an audiobook person. It's just how this busy mom that loves reading can read as much as I do. But his voice is fantastic and his narration is fantastic. I just have a hard time bridging this support of the person that is portrayed and has been in the news and all of that. So I don't know how you all distinguish between the narrator and the personal life of the narrator, but alas, I cannot deny that he is a fantastic narrator. Another one is the Powerless series. It is also a fantastic dual point of view, sometimes actually triple point of view. And this is by Lauren Roberts. It's YA, fantasy, romantasy. Kai Azar, voiced by Chase Brown, is the man. Kai has my heart. I am Team Kai. If you know, you know. But it is also a fantastic series, whether you read it and then you listen to it, and it's just a whole different experience. So do both. I have just been exposed to Aidan Snow. I have listened to a few of his books. He narrates a lot of romance books, including the Twisted series by Anna Huang, actually, quite a few of Anna Huang's books. But I also discovered that he is a really nice person, which is great to hear, especially given the controversy that I mentioned about Joe Arden. And great narrators and person, automatic support, done, appreciate it. And I found some of his videos on TikTok where he is supporting his kids' school and the love of reading, and just absolutely love that. So thank you, Aidan Snow, for being a good person and bringing the joy of narrating some fun romance books. Recently read Lights Out by Navessa Allen, which has become a TikTok sensation, and for good reason. It is very dark and spicy romance with a lot of shady stuff, but it is hilarious. I was literally laughing out loud, and then my audio switched from my earbuds to my phone at the oral surgeon's office. So I was a little embarrassed because it gets spicy, friends. It gets spicy and super shady in things that happen. So it is like totally morally gray stuff, but Jacob Morgan is the male narrator, and he does a fantastic job as Josh, the male main character. I had not heard of other Josh Morgan narrations. He does a lot of spicy narrations, but now I have. And I can see why people love him. Though I will say I went and listened to a few other ones and I went, I'm not as blown away as I was with Lights Out. I think it was the combination of the writing, how he portrayed this male main character, which was fantastic. Now, the funny thing is, Jacob Morgan is the alias, the spicy alias, as I've gathered, to Zachary Weber, who has narrated a lot of books I have loved, like Abby Jimenez books. A number of Abby Jimenez books have been narrated by Zachary Weber. Same person. Morgan and Zachary Weber are the same person. It's just for spicier romance and regular romance. And yes, he's done some of these Abby Jimenez books, which I absolutely love Abby. If you haven't seen any of my previous videos, love her, as well as Elsie Silver books, which are a huge book talk sensation as well. I need to go listen to a lot more of these books, clearly, to see if I'm a huge Zachary Weber Jacob Morgan fan, because I haven't been blown away, like I said, with every single one, but lights out, definitely. And apparently he also has one more alias as Sam Crowley, but there are only a handful or less than 10, I think, that are actually done through that alias. And so I don't know how he distinguishes between that one and the other two, but just know if you hear those three names, same person. And of course, if we're talking about narrators, we do have to talk about females too. And Julia Whalen is someone that I will listen to anytime. She does fantastic male voices also. So oftentimes she narrates a whole book by herself and does all the different voices. And she does a fantastic job on all of the ones that I have listened to. And she does all kinds of Emily Henry books, Kristen Hanna books. Those are the ones that I have listened to. But she does so many, and her selections are great. So all the books just come to life. Her voices, her accents, her everything. She's fantastic. She's even written her own books, and I've listened to both of her books. This lady is talented. She can read, she can act, she can write, and she's pretty too. Now you're armed with everything you need to know about audiobooks to up your game. The apps, the deals, the narrators, the books. Let me know your favorite in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss any more bookish content. If you want to hear all my reviews, you got it here. See you in the next video. Happy listening.